How do you continue to parent through some of the worst news of your life? How do you handle things when your family's world has shifted? How do you explain what living with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer means to your children? These 4 incredible women, all living with metastatic breast cancer, share how they face the unthinkable while continuing to parent with strength, honesty, and love. Their stories show us what resilience truly looks like.
When it came time to tell our son, my wife and I waited until we felt the moment was right. He is very observant and he's also incredibly sensitive. So we knew we needed to say something before he started coming up with his own ideas about what was happening. But the truth is, the timing is different for everyone. For very young children, related to something familiar. You know how when you get a scrape, your body works hard to heal it? My body has something bigger to heal, and the doctors are helping me. It's also important to reassure them. You didn't do anything to cause this, and it's not something you can catch like a cold. And I love you just the same. That will never change.
My children were in 2nd grade and in kindergarten when I was first diagnosed with breast cancer. Telling them was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do in my life. My husband and I spoke quite a bit about how to do this and when was the right time. We decided we thought it was best if we waited until we had more information about the diagnosis as well as the treatment plan. That way, we figured we could explain to them what was about to happen in really simple terms that they could understand.
At the onset of hearing of the breast cancer diagnosis that we were facing, my husband and I decided to digest that information before sharing it with our teenage sons, who were in 9th and 11th grade at the time. We encouraged them to experience their emotions, if they were angry or sad or upset or overwhelmed or confused, or if maybe they wondered if this was accurate or true. It was okay, and it was okay to have those feelings vary from day to day or moment to moment.
There are no 2 women who have experienced the same scenario when being told of her metastatic breast cancer diagnosis, and my 4 boys also shared very different experiences. 2 of my 4 boys were in high school. Additionally, they were attending the very school that I myself plus my husband are teachers. This compounded the attention and the questions. My 15-year-old wanted the facts and didn't want to be bothered with questions from others. He shut down, so we tried to respect his feelings and his privacy. My son, that was a junior, got involved with fundraisers like Tackle Cancer and wanted to know everything. He also asked the heartbreaking question, "What's after stage 4?" That was a tough moment for both of us. My husband and I tried to put on a positive face, but the boys knew that we were sad and pretty devastated. I didn't lie about that.
Once you share the diagnosis, the next step is helping your kids understand what treatment means and what they might see. Be honest about changes they may notice, if it's appropriate for your treatment, like hair loss, fatigue, hospital visits. It's also important to prepare them for the reality that some days will look a little different. There will be times when mama doesn't feel well or is extra tired. On those days, we can have movie dates or read stories or just cuddle. Even when I need rest, we'll still find ways to be together. If you know you'll be getting a port, show them a picture ahead of time and explain it in very simple terms of what it does. Showing them what it looks like can take away some of the mystery, and what's understood is a lot less scary.
Knowing that our children are very, very different, and knowing that the way that we explain things to them would help to shape the way that they thought, my husband and I tried to stay positive and tried to explain things in very simple terms. We tried to explain the mastectomy to them and what the recovery might look like. We tried to explain the chemotherapy and how I might be feeling and what I might look like with losing my hair. We tried to explain what radiation might be like and how I might feel after that. We used a lot of books to support all of this, and I think that that was really helpful in opening up discussions and helping to support all the things that we were trying to explain to them. We also made sure to really take the time to explain how this would affect their daily lives and how they could still bond with me when I was going through the recovery processes from all the different parts of breast cancer.
When it came to telling our teenage boys about my treatment plan, We decided that sharing an educated view along with an honest perspective was the best route so that they could feel that they knew exactly what was going to take place. Unfortunately, after the 5th round of chemo, I was then placed on a new chemo regimen and my diagnosis changed to stage 4, which was considered terminal and given 6 months to live. So the conversation changed drastically as we moved forward. We were told to have an end-of-life plan and have affairs in order, hospice, and that conversation was quite grim. As you may imagine, I'm still here 10 years later, so they've moved from teenagers into adulthood, and we continuously, honestly, tell them what's going on. I give them updates of CT scans and MRIs, and I'm still in active treatment, so when they ask, I am honest as possible without burdening them with the day-to-day ups and downs of long-term treatment and care.
It wasn't until I got a second opinion 5 months after my diagnosis at a cancer center and started an aggressive chemotherapy that the boys realized how tough it was. Once I lost my hair and was exhausted much of the recovery time only to travel again and do it all over, they knew that Mom was sick and they were a bit scared. They were helpful, but the house grew quiet. Friends weren't coming over and they both liked to watch movies with me. I would tell them when I wasn't feeling well and they would ask what they could do. It was hard watching them hurt and they felt helpless. But there were times when sitting at their sporting events or their school performances that their pride and love was glowing because their mom was there. The oldest 2 boys didn't see much of me during those chemo days, but would call and check in. It was more challenging keeping them updated since they weren't around the situation. They didn't want to read about my journey on my Caring Bridge page and became angry if I didn't tell them something personally. It was difficult to share all the details, but my husband and I did our best to keep them updated. There was a time when the attention from the community was overwhelming and I really wanted to disappear. All 4 of my boys say they experienced the very same thing. They wanted to disappear from the questions and the looks. They felt labeled as the kid with a sick mom, and the look of pity was too much at times. It followed them everywhere, and they each struggled with the constant barrage of questions.
Something that was really, really important to us is that we were open and that we were honest and that we made sure to use age-appropriate language and also to make sure not to scare them.
It was okay to talk to friends or family members or coaches or teachers. I was an open book. It wasn't something that I was ashamed of. It was something that we were going to get through head on together as a family.
There's no perfect way and no perfect time to have this conversation. Only what feels most genuine and safe in your situation. You don't need the perfect words. You just need to be real. Children don't need a perfect parent. They need an honest one. When you speak from the heart, when you answer questions truthfully, and when you keep love at the center of every conversation, you're already doing it right. Remember, your story and your strength are teaching your children resilience, compassion, and courage. You are not alone in this.
Navigating conversations will be different for everyone. Do what you feel is right and best for your children. Be age appropriate when providing explanations. Continue checking in with your children. Keep the dialogue open. Know that each child can respond differently and meet them where they are. Get involved, seek support, and find community.